What is good, YouTube? So I was just going to get some Chick-fil-A, and I was having this weird throttle rising problem. See, I cut out the cruise control cable because it wasn't hooked up anyway. But essentially, when I yanked on it to like cut it with the wire clippers, because that thing's a bitch to cut out, it really is. My throttle was rising. Like, I would come to stops, and literally, you would just you would be braking and clutching in, and the fucking throttle would just keep rising all the way to like 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs, and it would rise. It wasn't like a high idle, it was like a high rise. So essentially, it's not doing that today at all. Today's the first day it's not doing that, so maybe, not too sure. And another thing, VTEC's kicking in, and we got no P1106 code. So I'm really fucking happy about that. The only fucking code we pull a lot lately is the fucking throttle. The TPS sensor signals higher than expected. So yeah. Not to mention, every time I pull up to the Chick-fil-A now, I have a new cashier or person that, you know, is at the window. Literally, that's the third person that's told me they like my car a lot. They're like, yo, your car sounds so good. Like, what'd you do to it? This and that. And the guy was like last two times it was girls that said it. And this guy that was there like every day, he was talking to me about it, and he was like, I really like your car, man. It sounds so good. And I was like, thanks, man. I've been working on it a lot. And I was breaking it down. I was like, you know, I got full catback exhaust, race header, intake manifold, new throttle body. And I was telling him about my future plans, you know, because you don't got a lot of time to tell people when you're at a drive-through window. You got like 30 seconds or less before you get a beep behind you. People want to get their food. But literally, I was like, you know, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new block, a new bottom end from a TSX. He was like, oh, what's that like? I was like, well, basically, it's a beefier bottom end with better torque, and you get 50 horsepower gain from it. And he was like, 50? I was like, yeah, no supercharger, no turbo or nothing, just like 50 horsepower. He's like, wow. He's like, that's got to be pretty awesome. He's like, but you should supercharge it. I was like, there's an idea. Like, fucking K20, K24 with supercharger. That would be, because like supercharger's definitely a little less headaches than a turbo setup. I mean, it's still forced induction, but like you're already gaining 50 from the block, and however much we gain from, like, you know, the fucking bolt-ons and stuff like that. But literally, a supercharger still makes a good fucking amount of horsepower. That's like another 100 horsepower. So I mean, you'd have right around 300, anywhere between like 260 to 300 from just naturally aspirated. Oh, there it is. It did it for the first time. Y'all heard it. I wasn't revving. I come to a stop and it starts rising. But that's the first time it's done it, you know? Like, usually when I'm driving, it's got to be something to do with, like, it's either a idle issue, like, or a fucking TPS issue. Like, it thinks I'm rising when I'm not rising or something. But yeah, see, now it's driving a little funky. But yeah, it's definitely, I think it has something to do with either a throttle cable or this fucking TPS sensor just freaked out as fuck because you know, you're running a 74 millimeter throttle body and a fucking aftermarket manifold, so like you never know what it's like. Excuse me, with the fucking hiccup and burp. But it's like that TPS sensor, like my car is dumped. My car is definitely not a good riding car. It's a good handling car for sure, but like that TPS sensor, even on like, I'd say stock mounts, but like modified suspension, it picks up a lot of vibration. So like TPS sensors and stuff like that, these sensors wear out very quickly. And I think my motor is sitting like right around like anywhere between like 85 to 100,000 miles, and that's still a fairly new motor. I mean, it's not like, you know, ridiculously old or anything, but I think those TPS sensors, you know, combination of the vibrations and the combination of heavily modifying with bolt-ons and stuff like that, I mean, what it comes down to is this fucking thing's not giving out an accurate reading. And it could be something to do with, like, you know, when he installed the TPS sensor in, let's say he screwed it in and he calibrated it, he got the right readings, but then, like, we drive the car, hit some bumps and stuff like that, and it could just, you know, TPS sensor could just shift, like, you know, just like a fucking millimeter, and then it's not giving the same accurate, you know, reading. It's not calibrated anymore or something. Let's see if we can get it to do it. Yup, see? Y'all hear that? We're at 3,400, just clutching in. And then you tap on the gas, it goes right back down. I really don't understand that. Unless it's something to do with my fucking... I don't think it's my clutch. I mean, I hope it's not my clutch, but I really don't think it is. Because the car pulls really good in all the higher torque gears, like, you know, first, second, third, no problems. And then, like, I noticed that 6th gear and 4th and 5th, when you're going at a low speed and you, like, fucking wide open throttle it, here it comes again, starts to rise, and it drops back down. It's probably just the idle. It's probably just going real high, I guess. Let's get a pull in. See, I can't. It's to the point now where I need new axles. Like, I can't even fucking wide open throttle in 1st gear. Like, I have so much wheel hop, and the axles are jumping, that I really need to get new axles. Like, I literally do a fucking wide open pull. This thing's like broken in now, and it just fucking, you just hear. I mean, it's either. I mean, I don't think it would be. I mean, I need new tires. That's one thing too, but I really don't. See, there it goes again. You tap on the gas and it goes back down. So it's very odd. It's, you know, it's very quirky. It's not like it's doing it like while you're driving. It's not when you're like in shifts or doing shifts. It's literally when you're coming to a stop and you're clutching in. I don't know what the hell that's about. And I think it does it too, even if you don't clutch in. Like, let's say you're like almost to your stop, and like, let's say you're in, you know, 2nd gear or something like that, and you just brake, it starts to rise that way too. But it's usually when you're clutching in. True story. But yeah, sorry I haven't been posting every day or every couple days like I've been doing. I haven't really been feeling that amazing. I'm not sick. I was sick last week. Had a nice chest cold, but you know, I'm starting to bounce back a little bit. I'm also going to be putting some parts and stuff up on eBay, so when I do that, I'll leave y'all a link in the next video. It's definitely going to be selling my PRB manifold, my stock throttle body, stock Type-S exhaust, stock exhaust manifold. So if any of y'all need that part, or, you know anybody that needs, you know, let's say they ripped off their exhaust, or they're without an exhaust, or they got a hole in their exhaust, or they're trying to, some of their shit's broken, you know, they have a bad manifold hose, or like where not the hose, but, you know, where the hose goes onto, like, their shit's broken, basically. You know, that's the only people that are really going to be buying this stuff, unless, like, you're doing a K-swap car and you don't have the manifold or the exhaust or something like that, you know. So putting that out there. I'm also selling some music gear on there as well, and other odds and ends. So if any of y'all need that stuff, yeah, I'll get you the link. But yeah, let me think what else. So basically, future plans for the cars, like an update on future plans for the cars. Definitely need to get K-Pro first. Still saving up for that. That's why I'm putting stuff up on the eBay store, trying to recycle some of that money. I'll also be putting up a K20 valve cover. I'll put a good price on it and everything because it's obviously used. But for anyone that's trying to, like, you know, hydro dip or paint their own valve cover, need it for a K-swap car, your RSX, yeah, I'm putting that up on there. Basically, I'll put it up on there for, like, you know, $100 or maybe even $150. I might paint it like wrinkle red, or if you need a certain color painted, I'll do a wrinkle paint. Because yeah, I ordered a spoon cover, so I'm trying to get a little bit of money out of, you know, in return, because I'm putting something in, I'm trying to sell that and get something out, so helps break even to a degree. So yeah, those are kind of where the plans are going for now. I am still gonna be getting the TSX block, a whole motor actually, so I'm trying to find a 2006 TSX motor. If any of y'all have a lead on a not just like a 04 to 08 TSX motor, I'm talking a 2006, because I need the 2006 TSX cams, because those are the best year and you get the best power gain when you're putting it in a Type-S head. So definitely need it. I need a 2006, because I mean, I could find like a 04, 05, or, you know, whichever TSX motor or block, or just the whole motor even, but then the cams aren't as good as the 2006 year. So I think those, like, 2006 had like 5 to 10 more horsepower basically, and it's because of the cams. So that's why I'm trying to hunt one of those down. It's very hard to find a 2006, because virtually everybody on eBay or, you know, motor sites, it says 04 to 08. It doesn't specify which year it is, so it's definitely a pain in the ass. But yeah, if I can't find a 2006 motor, I'm basically gonna have to order, you know, just OEM 2006 to, you know, TSX intake and exhaust cam, and spend about like $700-800. Like, and the only benefit to that is they're brand new, which would make me happy. I mean, they haven't had a fucking mile on them, so that would be definitely dope. But I mean, if you can get the whole motor for $1,000 or like $1,500 at the most in really good condition, then I'd really like to find a 2006, because that would just make my world. But yeah, we'll talk more about it later. I'm gonna go eat my food later, YouTube.